Call to order this meeting of the Tourism Commission and start with roll call this evening. Ed Holper, present. Mark is excused. Barbara Wessner,
here.
Jeff Kadersky,
here.
All right. If you would all please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. It is 2 minutes after 6, and our next agenda item is the citizen comment period. Any citizen waiting. So I'd like to close the citizen comment period and move on to agenda item number 3. Draft minutes approval of our April 17th meeting. We did not have a May meeting. In your packet, you will find the meeting minutes from the 17th. Comments or observations on the meeting minutes that we need to note?
I didn't notice any changes. Unless anybody else did, I would move to accept as presented.
Got a motion to accept the meeting minutes as presented.
I will second.
Barbara, second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? The meeting minutes are approved. Reports. Mark is not here this evening. So on Engage Franklin, we weren't even expecting.
No. And about all we have is they're still searching for an executive director.
They're still in that.
Yes.
Okay. And in our packet is the annual Department of Revenue report that the state's required to file.
Right. And I
Comments on that?
don't know if Engage, it should be an Engage item or whatever, but they were going to get that to us, and I, of course, have a copy of it. And basically, there's only like 3 figures in this, and the room taxes collected in 2023 by the city of Franklin was $481,214. And of course, 8% is the room rate that's tax rate. And then the Tourism Commission received $329,314. And of course, the list of the commission members is there at the bottom of that page. On the second page, basically, all we have is an acknowledgement that the municipality collects room tax on May 13th, 1994. And prior to that, this would be the answer to a question. And then the next page beyond that has the preparer's name, which is Danielle Brown, who's the Director of Finance and Treasurer for the City of Franklin. Her contact information. And submission date, April 24th, at the bottom of the page, along with some codes for filing. And that's about the extent of it. Kind of do all that, plus all the other budget items that we have.
I just did a little math. We are getting dangerously close to that 73 split. This portion was 31.57. So probably, I think that's as close as we've been.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's usually the city's portion has been in the mid-30s. All right. Any questions on the annual Department of Revenue? Unfinished business. We have the banner bracket proposal. And do you have in front of you, or is this just, yeah,
Yep,
Everyone
that's
has
in
this
addition to the
handout?
quote.
Okay. Would you take us through this, John?
Sure. So we talked about getting new brackets. This was all part of the program that we embarked on last year. We purchased new banners to replace the ones that have been worn out. And also, we planned on this year budgeting for purchasing new brackets. And these would be improved and wouldn't basically get broken.
It would snap off.
Yeah, they wouldn't snap off under the pressure of the wind blowing the banner.
Right.
And I would think that too would also decrease the pressure that's on the poles holding them up. Turn a great strain out of the poles, the light poles that suspend them. But if you take a look at it, you kind of see on the first page the springs that are basically dampening the motion on the bracket hinge. And then on the second page, you can see what the old brackets are like, and they're just strapped directly to the pole, and the banner mounts just go directly into that, and there's no spring dampering or buffering or anything like that. So on the fourth page, you can see the equipment that goes into these new brackets, and you can see that they're actually a hinge that is pressurized by the spring. So it's a spring-loaded hinge, and you can tighten it up to lessen the amount of swing on it, or loosen it to increase. But that's all just the mechanism that, again, flexes with the wind and reduces the strain and stress on the bracket. And you see some examples on the following page of single mounts and double mounts, which we have both.
Oh, okay.
And you can see them on light poles, which is the application that we have. Our application will actually have padding underneath these metal straps that are holding the brackets on, that strap down the brackets onto the pole. There'll be padding underneath those to keep from scarring the pole.
I see just as I'm reading here, there's a little bit of maintenance involved. Is this something that the city is looking at as far as scheduling that if they needed to, or is that something?
I think that's something we're going to have Olympus do.
The folks that are selling us the
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I imagine at some point in time or another, those bands one of them will break. So somebody's going to have to go around and inspect those once a year.
Well, I have a question about it. It says it has a 15-year warranty. So if those brackets break, they replace them.
The brackets, yes.
The brackets.
Yeah. Can't imagine that the straps would.
A warranty covers manufacturing defect, which
Try to prove that.
Yeah,
yes.
right. You got that right.
usually they know within 6 months to a year if something was wrong. So I mean, it's all warranties are like that. It's a little misleading.
And is the installation done by the city employees? No, it's done by this
When we
company.
started this out, when I first got here, the engineering department, public works department, informed me that we had this program and that these were going to have to be replaced, and they didn't want that to have to be public works department project anymore.
Okay.
They had enough work to go around and didn't need to have staff necessarily going out and fixing and replacing, putting up new banners as well. So that became my duty to get a bid out, get a proposal for replacing brackets and replacing banners and installing them as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Just to correct what I was saying, it does say up to the wind category that it's specified.
I'm assuming if it would break at less than the winds that are rated for, they would warrant that.
What is the wind category that it's warranted under? Say?
I'm gonna have to ask because they don't stipulate that on the bill, and they didn't stipulate it on.
That's the difference. Banner, bracket. Banner can break a lot earlier than bracket. Bracket is the bracket.
Yeah, they didn't stipulate their category. But I can get that. This is the price for that.
All of the existing as placed. Something we still want to continue doing, or
Yeah, we would replace them all, but there's only like 6 on St. Martin's Road that are still intact. The rest of them have all
right? But it looks like we have 85.
Yeah, I think 72 banners go up, and then there's a certain number, and I could pull it up if you wanted me.
No, it just
Yeah, there are of them. 2 of them are doubles, going to double mounts, and then there's a number of single mounts. So we have both, and they're located at Drexel. They're located at St. Martin's, and then a lot of them are located at Ross. And Drexel is mainly around 76 and Drexel intersection.
Nothing done on 27th Street.
So, I'll have to take a look. It might be, if it was, it'd be Ross and then 27.
I know
I think that's
there's
where
a
it was,
number of
Ross.
them going across. Do we need
Right.
all of them? Dedicate some option.
Like I said, Eric, we would be at 20.
And I think the overall plan was also to evolve into a wayfinding. You know what I mean? So signs towards the rock and the parks,
Right.
different things too.
Meaning banners might be used in that regard?
Well, when they started with the overall signage program, that was my understanding.
Oh.
So, I mean, that might be another phase. I don't know whether this group would do it or not.
So we have 55 doubles and 2 singles. So the singles, they're alone, but the doubles are the double mounted bracket. And let's see here. Here is the energies, 14 singles going up. This looks like St. Martin here. And we'll orient that north. Look at that. So that's St. Martin's. 14 singles. Here's Loomis and St. Martin's intersection right here. 5 doubles, 2 singles. The X's were, or they, where they had it, I think they relocated them a little further out.
These are all on the light poles. That's-
Correct. Here's Loomis, 6 doubles. This would be right in front of City Hall.
Oh, yeah.
5 doubles, 6 doubles, 5 singles. And then there's, yes, we do have some on Ryan. 7 doubles. And yeah. And when we get to Ryan and 27th, we have some just at that intersection.
So those 3 are on Ryan, and then it butts up against
Yep.
27.
And then one of them is on 27th. So again, it's that wayfinding thing. Takes you into the city of Franklin. You know that's where you're headed. Because you've got several banners, as opposed to going up and down 27th Street around the border. And then here's Rawson and 76. We have a lot. 14 doubles, 6. six doubles on 76 and 14 doubles on Ross. We're obviously pretty intensive populating that. And here's Ross. This is in the county.
That's down past,
That's 31st Street there. That's getting pretty close to 27th. Is 27th right here? I'm going to guess that it is. Yep, 27th Street.
Drexel?
This is yep. And then there's a generalized location there.
Which represents just a section of where these are.
Yeah, the general location. Can you read upside down? It's just north and south reversed. North is not up. North is just north. So again, you have two locations, Ross and Ryan on 27th. That half a mile. So the bid, $34,440. Sprig loaded banner hardware, 25 singles, 60 doubles. Is $26,775. Unit price of $315 per. And then the installation part of it, removing of existing hardware and banners, installation of new hardware and banners, including protective rubber for the poles, $76.60. And I spoke with Eric and Schindel. Am I pronouncing that? I guess nobody else has a better guess than I do, so we'll go with that. Our attorney, and he says that we can bid this without having it put it out for proposals, because this is equipment. Statute calls for construction of facilities or buildings or stuff like that. This is equipment that's getting mounted on light poles, which in and of themselves are equipment. And that's a different process. City goes through there. They're bidding it to seek competitive bids. We've already been working with this bidder, this contractor or vendor, I should say.
Is this? Yeah, I was going to say. So the Olympus group was the same group that did the original banner.
Mm-hmm. And by the phone number, it's obviously a local group.
Correct.
We've already talking about the banner. Several, prepared as a budget number. He said, "This is how we're going to go about it." Here we are. It's all ready to go. What do we need? Had we, and I'm trying to recall, had we approved the amount at an earlier meeting, or we were still in the process of getting?
We had an estimate, and we approved the budget. Now we have the amount, we have the proposal.
All right.
To consider approval.
What would be the timeline to get them installed?
Haven't asked. The timeline has really been driven by us getting everything lined up.
So we're really, we probably should entertain a motion to approve this quote. Before we do that, I'm just going to toss something out there a little for discussion and just ask how we might want to handle it. So again, this company, like any company would, said, well, we're going to install this for you, but we're recommending some maintenance. And they even recommend returning to the install site within 2 to 4 weeks of the first install to tighten fans if necessary, which actually makes sense to me. But I have a feeling that return is not included in their initial install. It might be, but
Also recommends quarterly.
exactly, which seems a little aggressive, but I guess where I'm going with this is there's some maintenance we could talk to the company about, right? To get a quote on, at a minimum, annual maintenance, maybe biannual, and, twice a year, semi-annual, I guess. And then this idea of if they really recommend it, should you be giving us a quote for coming back in a couple of weeks and checking these fans? I mean, it's in their brochure now, I think.
Well, that's one of those.
That's the manufacturer.
Manufacturers.
See, that's one of those things where, yeah, it broke. Well, did you get all the service done?
Yeah. Did you do that second band tightening?
That's actually a disclaimer, not as
Exactly.
much as a recommendation.
Right. So you're right. This company may say, in the 30 years we've been selling these brackets. I think it's worth I don't know how three of you feel about this, but getting a quote on some kind of check-in on these things on at least an annual basis around and take a look at it. If only to have somebody go around and go, hey, you're missing one. That's what ripped or it's gone or,
Yeah,
and we get after it,
As far as noticing if something's broken or if we're missing one, probably we're missing one. Yeah, the city DPW will notice and let us. But we're going to ask the maintenance on that.
Is that a valid question to this install company or not? It doesn't have to be part of this motion. This could be a request to John to, right? I mean, we don't have to do it through a motion to ask you for another quote on.
See if they give us a quote on maintenance.
Yeah, and what they recommend. We could. Do you think that's worthwhile, or don't worry about it?
That's worth asking the question, I think. And I noticed that under the warranty information, they have a page, at least on their website, having to do with warranty information. Maybe that would be more complete or might answer a question.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that out there, with John's willingness to ask about their recommendations on ongoing maintenance, can we entertain a motion on approving this banner bracket quote?
I so move that we approve this quote purchase.
Quote that we find in our packet here
Yes.
for $34,000. So I have a motion to approve the Olympus Group quote to install brackets, replace brackets, install banners. Quote would be $34,440. Do I have a second? Or any discussion?
Michael, I do have a question. The brackets we have now, are they broken?
Totally busted, destroyed.
I mean, okay, so that's just.
The St. Martin's one survives because there's a lot of trees around to buffer and shelter. But the banners are looking really rough.
Yeah, I mean, it just, the only thing I'm concerned is the number of banners. We need that, we cut back and say, let's try these. No, let's get 50, 85, I mean, because Olympus Group is the one that sold the banners, brackets to begin with. You're the one that said, hey, it's going to last how many years?
They worked that in under a price, under revenue. I mean, they did that to meet the lowest price. And in fact, what they did is they came in at, what it was, 49,000. No, $24,999. Which means the city didn't have to bid it. The city bid that because it was a partnership between the Economic Development Commission and the tourism. And so that was, and it was done with city equipment and city workers. And so, yeah, that had to be bid. This is the Tourism Commission. And we don't have to go by what the city goes for their functions, city functions. But in general, for state to meet state codes, we can do this because of equipment.
We have a motion. Got a question out there, a comment. So it seems to me we amend the motion or move to a second on original motion table. So, or
You do not want to second the motion?
I'm just struggling with the banner. Whether,
With the
Struggling
numbers,
with what?
with
Well,
the number of banners.
but even if it's, is it a tourism thing that we should attract tourism?
Okay,
With the
so
placement.
I thought we answered that.
Right,
We
I know,
budgeted
but
this.
but so now there's, but, you know, as far as the brackets, we have
That's,
the banner,
that's
we have,
part, that's part of doing
do we
the
have the new
project.
banner, do we have the new banners to hang on?
We have the new banners.
Oh, that was,
As per plan, that's, I
Yep,
just
okay.
described. We spent $15,000.
right, so these are gonna,
Mount them.
these are gonna work with the new banners.
Right.
All right. And I'll second the amendment.
second that vote from Olympus Group. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay. Vote is approved. And I take it, am I going to need to sign something, or you're going to have me sign something maybe before the leave here, or just when they need payment?
I think that would
We
be
do
when
voucher
they need
approval.
payment.
All right.
I suppose you could just sign the bid, just in case, you need something that's signed.
Our next item is new business, scheduling new business. We have been talking about the, which was resolved in the last meeting, was the grant application. You all received a copy of that. John did an excellent job of converting it to a fillable PDF. And you all received that by email?
Yes, but I have a question. Is that somewhere on the website? I looked for it this afternoon, and maybe I just didn't know where to
I
look.
wouldn't put it up unless everything was,
It's what?
I wouldn't put it up unless it was all A-okay
Oh, I
with you
see.
folks.
Okay, so
And
it's not there yet.
We
Okay.
wanted you to take a look at it, so no, it's not up.
Okay, all right then.
And I think John added the dates of fillable field now.
Yeah, I just gotta learn how to get that border to show up.
Oh, like that.
It's
Yeah.
you can see the field, but it's just, it's not showing the border, so I'll have to dig into Acrobat and see if it'll divine how I do.
And then there's that one-page introduction to this that we
Right.
modified, right?
Which would go over the top of it.
Over top of this, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So again, the idea here is that that is available once all that agreement. We'll post this on the website so you could actually download this and play it,
Okay.
right? And we say the website, we are referring to
City's website,
website,
I think?
right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, we get that on the city's website, and we'd have to get it on to Engage Franklin's website as well.
I think that makes
Okay. And before we move ahead with this, I actually have an application already. And I'm not sure if we, since it's not officially on the agenda, should we be talking about it tonight? Probably
Just
not.
that you're submitting some applications, fine. We aren't going to be discussing the applications.
Okay,
Just that you're submitting.
all right, so there will be applications. I guess we should put that on the agenda for the next time. There will be applications
to take a look at.
to take a
review.
look at for the next time. Okay,
All right.
excellent.
Thanks.
Fine.
Good to have application. Next item is voucher approval. In the package, we have a couple of just one. Actually, I think it's,
Just one, but you have two
It's one
pages
that's-
there.
okay, there was a prior well, did we pay that prior balance? Or, no?
Well, according to this bill, we did not. And
Okay, so
I
actually-
looked, I checked, and I didn't see it on our general ledger with
Okay,
the city.
all right.
So
So what we're,
I will double check when we take this to them.
okay,
It's not on the ledger, so it couldn't have been, checks couldn't have been written, because that happens immediately.
Do you think the Quarles invoice might have been the one for 2,800? Might have been in our last packet? In legal work, or here I've got our April 7th. Thick packet. I'm not going out.
Yeah, I didn't look at that, I just went right to where the cash sits.
Well, we actually approved the Quarles invoice for $990. So somewhere between March, so the April, we're missing the April 30th billing. This was March 31st for $990. Then there was April 30th for $2,800. And now they've got
It's
us.
just accumulated.
Yeah. Do you need, you don't need that invoice then, or,
They need approval for the voucher.
all right. And I'm guessing that 2,800 had to be the bulk of the work for the review of the naming rights. There was a good chunk of time spent there, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. That was actually most all of it.
Yeah, that would be about right. April was when we, yeah. And after that. All right, so.
Did that include the meeting that we had where he was online with us?
Yes. Yes, and that would have been, well, yeah, that would have been the 330 at least, right there. That might have been follow-up, that probably would have been. Um, 3/11/24, $1,800, and 4/9/24 was $990. April's was, so.
And not that these invoices are.
No.
Legal services.
Exactly.
Yeah, note that was the prior balance, 3/11 and April 4th.
Yeah. All right.
So the 330 would have been the final writing of that phone call that we had.
But we do have a total of this fire balance from April and the invoice from May for 330. So we are on our voucher approval to Quarles for 31/3.
I would move to approve the voucher for 3130.
Right, and moves to approve the voucher for Quarles for 30. Discussion or second?
I would second.
Second on that. All those in favor of approving the invoice, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Please.
And just to clarify, it was 3,130 for those listening and not seeing what we're doing.
Next meeting. Date is already, I guess, sticking to our third Wednesday. Right, for the month would be July 17th. How does that work for everybody?
Works.
Again. Okay, so we'll hold our next meeting then at 6 p.m., July 17th. All right. And again, with note that on the agenda, we will place applications that have been great.
Right.
Review.
I have copies of, at least of one of those applications, or should they go onto the website, which is preferred?
No, you can just leave the copies with me, and
Okay.
they'll just be part of the packet
Okay.
next time.
All right, that'll be fine.
All right. Next agenda item is adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Ed to adjourn. Did I hear a second?
Yeah.
Second by Ed. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.